Picture yourself standing at the eye of a storm, utterly unshaken as chaos rages all around you. Imagine forces lashing out, seeking to uproot your very sense of self, only to find an unyielding core that refuses to crack. Feel the electric tension of power struggling against restraint, like a wildfire contained by ancient stone walls. Sense the thrill of absolute autonomy, where neither praise nor provocation can move you. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we forge indomitable minds and unbreakable wills. 1. The Unconquerable Fortress. Narcissists feed on control like oxygen, and they sense your ungovernable independence as the ultimate threat. They crave to map your thoughts, invade your decisions, and bend your will to their design, only to collide with your unbreakable resolve. In their eyes, the more they push, the more their hooks shatter against the bedrock of your self-containment. This isn't mere stubbornness, it's the manifestation of self-mastery, the stoic ideal of inner citadel, rendering every scheme impotent. Recall the time you walked away from a manipulative colleague who tried every trick in the book, guilt-tripping, gaslighting, boasting, only to watch them sputter in confusion as you maintained your equanimity. Their bewilderment is proof that true strength lies in self-rule, not in dominance over others. You didn't retaliate, you simply stood firm, demonstrating that the greatest power is knowing you cannot be coerced. Stoicism teaches us that true autonomy comes from recognizing which battles to wage, and which to ignore. You don't war with every insult or demand, you withhold emotional fuel, leaving them to rage against an unmovable fortress. Your resilience is a lesson in rational thinking. Emotions are tools, and you choose not to hand them over to predators of drama. Every time you enforce a boundary without a flinch, you reinforce the walls of your stronghold. You don't need to shout or brandish threats. Your silence alone communicates absolute refusal. That silence is your bulwark, the sound of a citadel sealed against siege. Stories of generals who held out against impossible odds echo your stance. They fortify defenses, stock provisions, and wait patiently as invaders waste themselves. You too endure, and in endurance you triumph. Your unassailable autonomy becomes a maddening obsession for narcissists. They hurl every weapon they possess, yet all they find is emptiness. You don't just withstand their onslaught, you render it irrelevant. 2. The mirror they can't shatter. Your habit of deep self-reflection is an act of courage few dare to attempt. While narcissists erect grand statues to their imagined perfection, you dismantle your ego piece by piece, scrutinizing flaws until they lose their power. This process of self-awareness is the very embodiment of emotional control, a core stoic pursuit. You stare into the abyss of your imperfections and emerge stronger, more refined. Imagine a friend whose vanity crumbles as you calmly acknowledge your own missteps and then grow beyond them. They flinch at your honesty because it exposes the fragility hiding behind their bravado. Your unflinching introspection shines a relentless light on their stagnation, inviting them to change or retreat into shadows. Stoicism honors this relentless inquiry. It teaches us that virtue arises not from hiding flaws but from confronting them with reason. You dissect every reaction, question every belief, and refine your character until nothing remains untested. This nuclear bomb of introspection leaves narcissists cowering in the rubble of their illusions. In the tale of the cracked mirror, they see their reflections splintered into shards of delusion. Each fragment mocks them, a reminder they can never fully control the narrative within. You, on the other hand, have embraced your whole self, flaws and all, transcending the need for external validation. By owning your growth, you illustrate that true power comes from inner evolution, not outward adulation. Every lesson learned, every fear faced, cements your authority over yourself. Their obsession intensifies as they try to reassemble the mirror. But narcissists cannot bear to see the truth. They recoil, haunted by the reflection you willingly display. 3. The gravity well of quiet dominance. Your influence doesn't roar, it resonates. You walk into a room and energy shifts, not because you demand attention but because you carry an unspoken certainty. This quiet dominance is raw power harnessed by rational calm, akin to the Stoic principle of acting in accordance with nature, effortless, unforced. Narcissists, starved for real authority, orbit you like moths drawn to a flame they cannot extinguish. Picture a negotiation table where threats and posturing fly fast and furious, except you sit back, listen, and speak only when your words carry the weight of steel. Heads nod, plans pivot, and the opposition wonders how you bend reality without lifting a finger. Your silent command unravels their performative swagger, exposing their shallow tactics. Stoics extol the virtue of self-possession. True leadership emerges from mastery of one's own mind. You exemplify this, refusing to display aggression or fear. Your composed stance dismantles their chaos, proving that presence outweighs posturing. A mentor once told you power is measured not by volume but by impact, and your life is living proof. You've guided projects, diffused conflicts, and steered group dynamics simply by holding space, projecting unwavering resolve. In their desperation, narcissists attempt to mimic your aura, donning hollow masks of confidence. But they stumble. Imitation crumbles without the foundation of self-discipline. Your genuine authority stands in stark contrast to their manufactured bravado. They circle you, hoping to siphon off a sliver of your certainty, yet every attempt boomerangs, magnifying the emptiness of their own center. For the black hole of emotional supply. Drama is the currency of narcissists, and they expect your reactions to fuel their coffers. Yet you offer none. Your calm, almost spectral neutrality turns their performance into absurd theater. This strategic indifference is emotional control in action, a tenet of Stoic philosophy. We choose which externals to grant power over our tranquility. Remember the time someone tried to bait you into an argument online? They hurled insults, spun tragic tales of victimhood, but you responded with measured questions or simply disengaged. Their rant collapsed in on itself, starved of the reactions they so craved. Stoicism teaches that others cannot truly harm our character unless we consent. By refusing to engage, you deny them the leverage they seek. They escalate, resorting to sensational lies or guilt trips, only to find you unmoved. In naval warfare, cutting off an enemy's supply lines ensures their defeat. You apply the same principle. Emotional supply is their lifeline and you sever it. They writhe in frustration as their drama implodes, revealing how dependent they are on the very attention you withhold. Stories abound of bystanders who watched a narcissist's spectacle dissipate once the audience turned away. You are that audience, uninterested, unruffled, unyielding. Their terror grows as they realize your calm is a weapon. They can provoke storms, but you remain the silent void around which their tempest rages. 5. The unbreakable code, boundaries as battle lines. Boundaries are your ironclad decrees. They are not negotiable, they are statements of self-respect inscribed in steel. Narcissists perceive these lines not as honors, but as dare challenges, a gauntlet they must breach to affirm their power. Yet each failed attempt deepens their fixation. Envision a colleague who repeatedly crossed your limits, borrowing without asking, sharing private details, manipulating team dynamics, until you calmly and unequivocally stated your terms. They recoiled, stunned by the clarity and finality of your stance. No drama, no guilt, just resolute enforcement of your domain. Stoic wisdom holds that defining what is within our control and what is not is paramount. Your boundaries draw that line in the sand, distinguishing your beliefs and values from external imposition. You maintain sovereignty over your life. Their obsession blossoms when they mistake your respect for a challenge. They bombard you with tests, hoping to corrode your steel. But your code remains intact, an immutable law. You've seen rumors die within hours when targets refuse to entertain them. Narcissists thrive on bending narratives. Your boundaries erase the playground. With every boundary you assert, you reinforce your fortress, and they grow ever more desperate to crack a code that was never meant to be solved. 6. The alchemy of security. Insecure souls crave what they cannot produce, and the narcissist's bravado is a hollow shell masking chasms of self-doubt. Your internal security, quiet, profound, self-generated, is the Stoic ideal of true wealth. They view it as a reservoir to plunder, a sanctuary to inhabit. Imagine someone grappling with their own failures, drawn inexplicably to your effortless confidence, believing proximity alone can transfer your strength. They latch on, smothering you with questions and demands, hoping to absorb your calm like a sponge. Yet you understand that virtue is forged through discipline, not borrowed. Your resilience comes from conscious practice, daily reflection, deliberate action, unyielding principles. Their attempts at parasitism only highlight the hollowness they carry within. Stoicism teaches that the only true security lies in virtue and wisdom. External trophies crumble, internal mastery endures. Your poise under pressure is the proof. Consider the legend of the alchemist who transformed base metals into gold through arduous process. Your security is the philosopher's stone, the culmination of relentless self-discipline. As narcissists clutch at your aura, they reveal their dependency. Their desperation cracks open the facade, exposing the emptiness beneath. Your security remains impervious, the hallmark of a Sigma mind. 7. The kryptonite of non-reaction. Narcissists are architects of chaos, thriving on the storms they engineer. They pull strings, gauge reactions, and bask in the spectacle. Your Sigma stillness is their kryptonite, a calculated strategy of emotional control that obliterates their game plan. Recall the social media tirade that fizzled when you replied with a single, measured phrase? Or better yet, no reply at all. Observers wondered at your restraint. Critics were left shouting into the void. Their scripts unraveled. Stoic teaching advises us to respond only to what aligns with reason and virtue. Every provocation becomes an opportunity to practice detachment rather than impulsive retaliation. Your non-reaction is an active choice, not passive avoidance. In chess, sacrificing a piece at the perfect moment can dismantle an opponent's strategy. Your silence functions similarly, luring narcissists into overextension until they collapse under their own hubris. People remember the calm when emotions run high. Your composure becomes legendary. You transform every insult into a mirror, reflecting back the emptiness of their aggression. They recoil from your stillness, fearing the power they cannot provoke. Your strategic silence is the final blow, an invisible force that dismantles their chaos from within. 8. The authenticity paradox, the unattainable prize. Authenticity is rare, and in a world of curated personas, your unfiltered self is irresistible. Narcissists wear masks to control perception. You simply are. This raw genuineness is intoxicating and infuriating in equal measure because they cannot replicate it. Picture a social gathering where everyone performs to impress, and then you enter. No facade, no pretense, only unwavering honesty. People lean in, yearning for a glimpse of something real. Narcissists latch on, seeking to possess your authenticity as validation for their own image. Yet Stoic principles remind us that virtue and character are intrinsic, not spectacles for public consumption. Your self-worth derives from internal consistency, not applause. Every time you speak truth without embellishment, you reinforce your sovereignty over your reputation. Their attempts to co-opt your authenticity, through flattery or feigned camaraderie, only underscore their neediness. They mistake your openness for vulnerability, not realizing it is armor forged in self-knowledge. Consider legends of revolutionary leaders whose candor galvanized nations. Your authenticity carries a similar power, quiet, profound, uncontainable. As narcissists chase your genuine essence, they reveal their own impersonation. You remain the unattainable prize, untouchable because your truth cannot be owned. 9. The stealth success syndrome. Narcissists bathe in spotlights, but you thrive in shadows. Your victories, professional, personal, spiritual, unfold quietly without fanfare. This stealth success is a testament to self-discipline and rational planning, hallmarks of Stoic practice. Their envy ignites as they struggle to understand how power can exist without applause. Remember the venture you built from scratch while everyone doubted your vision. You focused on incremental progress, disciplined routines, and silent execution. The outcome spoke volumes, yet you never broadcast every step. Stoicism teaches that true achievement lies in the process, not in accolades. You measure success by internal standards, not external metrics. Your unseen mastery resonates louder than any public accolade. An orchestra's finest moments happen in the interplay of musicians, not the soloist's flourish. Your competence orchestrates results behind the scenes, leaving narcissists desperate to claim credit. Consider the artisan who crafts masterpieces in solitude. The world marvels at the finished work, unaware of the years of solitary refinement. You are that artisan of life. Their obsession with your hidden triumphs exposes their dependence on visibility. They crave to grasp shadows, but shadows vanish at dawn, leaving only your enduring legacy. 10. The validation vortex. External validation is the lifeblood of narcissists. They inhale praise and exhale manipulation. Your utter self-sufficiency, needing no one's approval, positions you as their ultimate conquest. Gaining your validation would be the Everest they summit to prove worth. Imagine a conversation where you acknowledge your achievements with calm gratitude, never seeking commendation yet never deflecting genuine praise. They recognize a rare prize, someone at peace with their own esteem. Stoic thought teaches that virtue is its own reward. You do not chase applause, you act according to reason and integrity. Your confidence radiates from within, not from a chorus of admirers. Narcissists will perform grandiose gestures to earn a nod from you, a compliment, a sign of respect, believing it will fill their void. They mistake your neutrality for potential endorsement. But you reserve judgment, choosing reflective silence or succinct acknowledgement. Their elaborate productions implode on the lack of a spotlight. Their frantic pursuit of your validation reveals how desperately they crave something you discard as superfluous. You remain sovereign over your own esteem. 11. The psychic armor, seeing through the veil. Narcissists rely on smoke and mirrors, love bombing, gaslighting, triangulation, to ensnare their victims. Your intuitive clarity, your emotional intelligence, acts as psychic armor, revealing every tactic before it lands. This heightened perception is a stoic gift, discerning truth from illusion. Recall the subtle pattern of inconsistent praise and criticism you detected long before others noticed. You called out the strategy calmly, leaving the manipulator's script in tatters. Observers were stunned that you saw through the veil with such precision. Stoicism trains the mind to distinguish between impression and fact. You observe behaviors objectively, unclouded by emotional reactivity. Each ploy becomes transparent, stripped of its potency. In warfare, reconnaissance wins battles before the first shot. Your psychic insight maps every move, enabling strategic countermeasures. You don't just resist, you preempt. Legends speak of seers who predict the tides of conflict. You possess a modern equivalent, the ability to anticipate manipulation and render it powerless. Their fascination with you morphs into fear. They realize they are exposed, every game laid bare. Your clarity is both beacon and barrier, drawing them in and repelling them simultaneously. This magnetic pull isn't your curse, it's your testament. Every boundary tested, every drama staged, every ounce of emotional supply withheld, these are confirmations of the unshakable core you've built. Your authenticity, resilience, and unwavering self-governance have become the mirror in which narcissists glimpse their deepest void. See their attention not as a burden but as proof of your power. Reflect on these truths, apply them relentlessly, and watch as your inner fortress only strengthens. If this resonates, hit like, comment your experiences below, share this video with a fellow Sigma, and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Remember, Sigma Male Community is your unwavering guide on the path of self-mastery. Subscribe now and own your destiny.